Streaming on clickorlando.com, you're watching News 6 at 6:30 p.m.
Good evening to you. This is News 6 at 6:30, getting results. Thank you for joining us here live on News 6 Plus. I'm Matt Austin. Ginger is on assignment. We're learning more tonight about the scary moments. A child was caught in the middle of a shootout yesterday. The Brevard Sheriff's Office now tells us the little girl that survived getting shot at the Cocoa Meat and Produce was just 1 year old, not 2 as they reported yesterday. News 6's James Sparvero has more information and reaction from the church on the same street.
So as this investigation continues, the sheriff's office just updated me. They've made an arrest. It's not any of the 3 people they say started the shootout. They're still at large. It's the person who was with the baby who exchanged gunshots with them. The sheriff's office says he's under arrest because he's under 18, and therefore he shouldn't have had a gun.
This could have been a lot worse than what it was.
Pastor Rodney Osborne at the church on South Burnett Road says the violence doesn't surprise him. So he thinks it's time for neighbors to talk about these issues with county leaders and law enforcement. Sheriff Wayne Ivey said the shootout was over some kind of feud between the young people involved.
We have residents that are afraid. Some are maybe now, after what happened yesterday, may be afraid to come to church. We have to be able to come together to do something about the incidents that happens across the street.
I checked with the sheriff's office, and they've told me they've responded to that food store more than 70 times in just the last year, including a total of 3 shootings.
When do we say enough? It could have easily been my child. It could be easily someone else's child or grandchild from a senseless shooting.
In Brevard County, I'm James Sparvero, News 6.
Well, it's been a headache for people living in downtown Eustis for months. Major road construction right through the heart of the city. Businesses impacted, people waiting for change. Though 2 new businesses have just opened, as News 6's Emily McLeod explains, the city council is putting an emphasis on boosting business.
With its waterfront views and historic charm, business owners say there's a lot of potential here in downtown Eustis, but business owners say they feel like the economic development happening here isn't as strong as it could be. Ray Chimento is the owner of 113 Coffee House and says initially people were discouraging her from opening up shop in Eustis.
The saying is that's where businesses go to die.
Chimento has only been open for 6 weeks, and despite those comments, it was important for her to open a business here in downtown Eustis.
We're coming because we believe Eustis is on the verge of something new.
Projects are on the horizon or already underway here in Eustis, like the State Road 19 project, which has been a little bit of a pain point for some businesses like George Warren here at Bay Pharmacy. He says he's losing parking spaces, making it harder for people to pick up their medication.
And for somebody just to come in, an engineer that doesn't even know us, to design a street program that doesn't fit for us, really makes your blood kind of boil a little bit.
After we spoke to these businesses, we came by Eustis City Hall to speak to City Manager Tom Carino to ask him about economic development and the State Road 19 project. These are not my words. This is just what I've heard. But Eustis has this reputation where businesses go to die. How do you overcome that?
Yeah, I don't think that's true. I think the key is learning from the folks that have been generationally successful and helping new entrepreneurs and new business people figure out what it takes to be successful.
Carino says there's a number of opportunities for Eustis, like the development of a 3-block site that used to be the home of the Florida Hospital Waterman location.
Not a lot of opportunities in Central Florida where you have a 3-block blank slate in your quaint historic downtown.
We also asked Carino about the State Road 19 project and the loss of parking spaces.
Yes, there is a plan for parking. That plan is going to develop as we figure out what's happening on the 3 blocks.
In Eustis, Emily McLeod, News 6.
Well, tonight we're hitting the road with Claremont's new police chief, breaking down one of the scariest shootouts we have seen in a long time. Officers responding to a murder-suicide. A boyfriend had killed his girlfriend, but law enforcement didn't know about an ambush waiting for them. News 6 anchor Eric Von Anken discovered their training and their shields saved those officers' lives.
The police chief tells me this was a really odd call. There was nothing urgent about it, at least in the beginning. He says a neighbor reported a woman running around a car, running away from a man screaming at her, but still no threat of violence. And he says it wasn't until they got up to the front door that they discovered blood and shell casings, bullet casings. They also never expected on the other side of this door that a woman would be laying there dead. And they certainly never expected what was about to happen at the top of the staircase.
Ready? 1, 2.
Chief?
By far one of the most intense videos I've ever watched in my career. Thankful none of my officers were hurt that day.
Months later, this still clearly gets you.
Yes, sir. I have a personal connection with many of the officers in our agency, being here for 20 years.
This is newly appointed interim police chief John Graysick, who was the former deputy chief. Chief, you were on scene nearby as the incident commander at the time that this was unfolding.
That's correct. I was the incident commander for this event.
Yeah, watch that stairwell. It's open. Where my police?
So normally people watching this might think this is a job for the SWAT team.
Correct.
But you couldn't wait because you had a guy that you had evidence of firing a weapon and a woman injured.
They had to devise a game plan.
Come out the back, come out the back.
Has there been anything that you said that this was on point, or maybe we could have done better?
Could we have done some things differently? Absolutely. You could always go back and critique an incident, but I would never take anything away from the 6 men who entered that residence on that day and acted heroically.
One thing that came out of the video was the shields that you saw the officers holding. Every single supervisor here at the police department has one of these in their patrol cars, and now the Claremont PD is investing in training, specific training to use this.
We'll be sending additional personnel to become ballistic shield instructors in the future. The value of the shield is irreplaceable when you think about what could happen to your personnel without a shield or without a vest.
And what may have that day.
Could be a completely different story without the shield.
After the shots were fired, the 6 officers then came back outside and waited here in the parking lot for the SWAT team to show up. But by the time they did, it was long over. They found the guy inside dead. He had killed himself. In Claremont, Eric Von Anken, News 6.
Well, it's Central Florida's #1 news website, clickorlando.com. Let's check out what's trending there this evening. It's an iconic Sanford home that can be yours for $790 grand. The Higgins house is now on the market. The 1894 two-story Queen Anne Victorian style home just blocks from downtown Sanford. Clickorlando.com features some interior pictures which showcase a blend of classic architecture and modern flair. Looks pretty nice right there. And here are some of the other trending stories right now over at clickorlando.com. 1 week from today, Air France will launch its new nonstop flight from Orlando to Paris. This marks the return of Air France's service to MCO since it stopped in 2012. And AAA says Orlando is the top Memorial Day destination in the United States. Seattle is #2. Theme parks are a big draw, of course, but AAA says Orlando and Seattle's rankings are mostly thanks to cruises. Oh, it appears News 6 likes Bombay Street Kitchen almost as much as I do. Coming up, their signature dosa is a must-try dish in Orlando's food scene. First, though, the Dr. Phillips Center, the perfect stage to showcase the future artists of Central Florida, the students who got the opportunity to transform passion into purpose. You're watching News 6 at 6:30, live on News 6 Plus. We're covering the Villages, DeBerry, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Wednesday evening traffic alert. Look, all that bad weather, well, it's gone. So we're going to ramp up construction. Southbound 417 at Lee Vista will be shut down tonight. So you'll clear Curry Ford. Plenty of signs out there right before 528. Follow the detour and you'll be good to go. Same thing. We are expected to see heavy construction along westbound lanes of I-4 at Kirkman. Now, overnight, it was open last night. It's still scheduled to be closed again. Just pay attention because they'll get you right back on. I'm Trooper Steve with your News 6 traffic alert. Drive safely. I'll catch you in the morning.
Students from Title I schools, which gets extra federal support for low-income families, are discovering their voices and building confidence. It's all thanks to a partnership between the Dr. Phillips Center for the Performing Arts and Disney Musicals in Schools. As News 6's Jana Manohalal shows us, their hard work and transformation took center stage this week.
For many young performers, stepping onto the professional stage at the Dr. Phillips Center is a dream come true. The Disney Musicals in Schools Student Share Celebration brings together students from across Central Florida to perform scenes and songs from their musicals at Steinmetz Hall. Before the show, we spoke with Ryan Simpson. He told me since the program started in 2016, nearly 6,000 students across 34 schools have taken part in this program.
And hopefully they've gone on to, just be stronger communicators, more confident in their classrooms.
These students are going to take the stage for an unforgettable experience. And while it may be Disney here on this script, well, the magic, that's all theirs.
For fifth grader Valeria Yepes-Balstroz, the experience has been truly transformative.
I originally was not going to join because I was too scared, but somebody convinced me, and I think it was one of the best decisions of my life.
Valeria's journey began in third grade when she nervously auditioned for her school's musical.
We heard her voice. She became our Elsa, and we're like, we just knew. It's funny to think back because at the time, she was so quiet.
This year, Valeria's hard work has paid off.
It was very exciting to find out that I had gotten enrolled because I worked so hard for it.
The program's impact goes far beyond the stage, especially for students learning English.
We have a very high population of non-English speakers. When you get involved in theater like this, it really helps them to improve their speaking and they come out of their shell.
At the Dr. Phillips Center, Jana Manohalal, News 6.
That is so good for those kids. Nice work, little ones. All right, here's a live look out at our Mount Dora cam. That is a sweet place to be. I love the lakes in Mount Dora. That looks like Lake Dora. You've got Lake Gertrude over there. Some beautiful stuff, and this weekend is going to be a nice time to buy some water.
My goodness, buy some water, get in it, all of the above with water. Yeah, we are getting rid of the stuff that fell from the sky. It's going to be dry for the next 7 days, and what you're going to see on the 7-day forecast, it's going to be the heat. It's coming back in a big way. Temperature is going to surge into the mid to upper 90s. We're going to do a gradual increase like what we started to see today. Temperatures getting up to around 90 degrees across all of Central Florida. Gorgeous along the coast right now. Lots of sunshine at the port, too. It's a live look with our Launch Credit Union camera this evening. Temperatures back to the lower 80s, tons of sunshine. The breeze off of the Atlantic at about 10 to 15 miles an hour, helping to keep things relatively cooler. By 7 o'clock tonight, if you're heading out to just 15 minutes from now, we're back to the middle 80s across Central Florida. Again, by 9 o'clock this evening, it's right around 80 under a mainly clear sky. That rich humidity really isn't back yet. It's going to start to go in that direction, though, as we get towards the weekend. Mid-70s for us under a mainly clear sky. By 11 o'clock tonight, again, heading to the Orlando City game, things are going to be very nice this evening as well. You can thank this big ridge of high pressure building at about 15 to 20,000 feet above our head. Watch the orange here. This is the expansive nature of this big chunk of high pressure. It's going to bully and block every other weather system that tries to work its way back to the deep south into the southeast corner of the United States. And as it moves over the Gulf, it's just going to sit there and bake everywhere from along the North Gulf Coast, including us in Florida. We're fast forwarded all the way out to Tuesday, May 20th now. We are going to be under the influence of this pattern for a very, very long time. Now here's a look at tomorrow's forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by the Florida Lottery.
Temperatures tomorrow start to increase a little bit, low to mid 90s for us. Again, 92 in Orlando, 93 in Oviedo. We're back to 91 in Daytona Beach. Sunshine is dominant, not only for tomorrow, but for the next 7 days. And not only that, we're going to start to increase the temperature gradually, ever so slightly as we move to the next few days. There's Friday afternoon. We're staying in the low to mid 90s. I don't think we're in record territory both tomorrow and Friday just yet. It's once we get into Saturday and Sunday, that's when the big time heat starts to build. We're at 95 on Saturday. The record in Orlando is at 97. Sunday, the record is 97 as well. High temperatures forecast to be at 96, and we're going to be back in record territory again Monday and again on Tuesday. Factor in the humidity, you get the heat index. Again, that's how it feels on your skin when there's more moisture in the atmosphere. It's harder for your body to cool itself. So that's where we get the heat index, and that's why that number is important. Again, temperature is getting back up to the 100-degree mark when you factor in the humidity. That's how it feels on your skin outside. Century mark again as we move into Monday. And again, this is something again that we are going to be getting used to over the next week, and this might stick with us now for the foreseeable future. We're at 95 on Saturday, 96 degrees on Sunday, back to the middle 90s on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and beyond, Matt.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. It's a pretty smelly scene near downtown Orlando as dead fish keep turning up. A viewer alerted us to the issue using our results desk. News 6's Laverne McGee went to investigate what's happening and found out there were a lot more people concerned.
I think there's definitely some smell in the air.
Stephanie Klotz figured out the smell was coming from these dead fish along Lake Beauty in downtown Orlando. It's just beside Orlando Health, just off Orange Avenue. Sure enough, it was the same description that came from our results desk viewer tip. A lot of people come out and walk here on their lunch break or after work, and you really don't notice anything, and suddenly there's like a smell in the air. And when you look down, you can see what's causing it.
If you get closer to that side where the construction guys are, you can smell the scent of dead fish.
I called Orlando Health to find out what was going on. Hi, it's Laverne McGee. I'm a reporter with Channel 6, and I'm calling because there's several dead fish washed up in Lake Beauty. They sent me this email saying in part, "We are aware of the situation and determining next steps." We also checked to see how common fish kill is. This table from Florida Fish and Wildlife shows there hasn't been anything reported in this area since January of 2024.
Does it concern you? I mean, obviously it's...
Yeah, it does. It does. This is kind of concerning, especially not knowing where the fish came from, if it was done by someone, if they were dumped, just not knowing what happened to them.
We'll stay on top of this to find out what they're doing about the situation. Laverne McGee, News 6.
Thank you, Laverne. Keep streaming. We'll be right back.
I'm Justin Mormith.
And I'm Crystal Moyer. Coming up in the morning, Orange County leaders again set to talk transportation.
Yeah, the special workshop they're planning as they look toward the future and whether a tax hike could be proposed to make it all happen.
And your weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We'll see you for News 6 Morning starting at 6.
I could crush like 8 of these. This RV from Giant Recreation World is big and bold, and fortunately, I know a chef with the flavors to match. Today, we're going to Bombay Street Kitchen in Orlando.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to try some Bombay street food, but if I'm gonna get one thing on this menu, what does it have?
You should try our street dosa. That's one of the best things we can sell here for you.
So we're eating dosa today.
Yes, correct. It's like thin rice scrape, fermented. We cook it on the grill and we put all the stuffing, like different kind of vegetable, and it comes with like some sauce. It's called sambar. It's like vegetable soup and some coconut chutney.
Sounds like a lot to this dish. I'm here at the Bombay Street Kitchen, getting ready to try some dosa, which I had really never heard of before. I guess the best comparison is like an Indian quesadilla. You take the dosa, you dip it in some vegetable soup. There are so many flavors in that, you would have a hard time counting. That is fantastic. It's spicy. Woo. So on the inside, there's all these crunchy vegetables. And I'm on about the 7th bite, and my eyes are starting to water in an amazing way. The outside, sort of like a soft crepe. I don't even understand how he made that with his hand back there and some sort of magic, but it is good, it is heat. It's got a little bit of a curry flavor to it. It's just fantastic. The I-4 food tour, getting some authentic Indian food straight from the streets of India. Bombay Street Kitchen. I would come back tomorrow.
Sponsored by Giant Recreation World. Visit Giant Recreation World today.
That place was good. There was a lot of food I tried that I didn't even get to show you. Like that puffy bread thing.
That thing looked awesome.
Ooh, so good. And actually pretty healthy. So thanks for joining us tonight. Watching News 6 at 6:30. Stream News 6 online anytime on News 6 Plus, your smart TV app. And always remember, we break news at clickorlando.com. We'll see you tonight right here at 11 o'clock. Bro Show. Check it out.
We're back.
You don't want to miss it.